All right, guys, for this next progression, you're going to team your athletes up in teams of 3. Before any of them go into this, make sure they're able to do wall facing, walk on the wall, just so that you know for sure that they can hold their weight with their elbows locked out. Let's not get them into the middle of the floor and have them die. Death is bad. So, for this one, teams of 3, you stress big time what everybody's purpose is. So I start off just teaching them how to spot. You have a primary spotter. The job of the primary spotter is to stand on the side that the person kicks up with. So the primary spotter is going to stand here, follow the leg all the way up into the middle. And then they're also going to tell the athlete when they're coming back down. So 3, 2, 1, down. One problem I ran into that I wasn't expecting when I first did it is athletes just expect to lower themselves on their head. So make sure they also know that, let them know you're coming down and you're taking it backwards down to the ground. The secondary spotter, their job is to just stand right in front and make sure that person doesn't kick all the way over. So if the person doesn't get enough height, we can deal with that if they just fall back. Falling over, bad, again, death is bad. We're trying to go against that.
Can I demo that?
Yes, demo death. Okay, so when you're teaching them how to kick up, I start by telling them to make sure that their hands are pointed down. We want all the force translated into the ground. I review the same things I went over during our warm-up. So we want the hands pointed out front so that we have more area to keep our body stable with. And then we also want to screw the arm out because that helps keep the elbow nice and locked down. From there, you want pointed toe because that helps keep the body as one. And then you also want to look through your hands because that will make you get your body stacked. So big things that we're looking for is big stacked body position and not the banana form where they're reaching and looking at the ground. So generally after I tell them all those points, I'll try to do one freestanding if I can. If I can't, because it's just not that kind of day, I'll ask one of my experienced athletes to help spot me while I do it so that we can just give them a quick demo.
Can you show me a banana opposed to stack from a side view, just standing here?
Let's see if I can.
Not upside down, Aaron.
Huh?
Not upside down, just standing.
Okay, so banana is when you see them looking at the floor and extending, as compared to when the head is straight and they're completely stacked.
Awesome.
All right, so the drill would look like this. So what kind of you
You want faces directions you should see.
Why not?
We're new to this.
I'll move around you.
All right, so you're going, as soon as you see their arms going down, you're following that leg and helping them up. Good. Big things to point out while they're in the air, toes pointed, and it doesn't actually stack. That's perfect. What you see a lot of athletes doing is since they have a spotter, they will just leave their head out in front. But it's really important they bring that in and get it stacked. All right, and coming down. All right, other key points to hit before you start. Any nervous athletes that you have, tell them ahead of time to let you know, and you'll join their group and help spot when they go. Anybody who you think is going to have a problem, I would suggest you just join their group from the very beginning and be there to spot. What other special situations? Oh, if anyone already has a neck injury and they're scared about that, I've had some people with neck injuries who feel fine doing this because they have a spotter, so they're not so worried about it. Anyone who is can just go to planks. You can do side planks, star planks. Just kind of have some fun with some planks while everybody else is doing that, so they still have something to do.
Go.
Are you ready? All right, so this is another way to teach handstand walks and handstand holds. We're going to start this time by working on the wall. The first thing we're going to have Dustin do is just wall-facing walks. For your beginner athlete, we're just making sure that they can hold weight. So he's starting here. I can see that he can continue to hold weight, hold weight, hold weight. Great. So now I just know he's not going to kill himself. For your advanced athlete, you're going to have them keep climbing up the wall. And what they're working on is get into a very, very stacked position. Pointed toe. So we got knees over hips, hips over shoulders. That's what we're working on. And they can just do holds there while you're basically walking around with your newer athletes, just making sure they can get as high as they can. Show up. All right, come on back down. Okay, so your wall walks all the way up the wall are only for advanced athletes. Make sure they know ahead of time either how to walk themselves out of it or either how to cartwheel over to the side. You need to know who your advanced athletes are, and only they will be the ones who will go to this progression. because getting out of it can be dangerous. The good thing about getting them to that spot though is that it teaches them how to hold a good stacked position as compared to when you do a kick up, and generally people are kind of more in the banana than they are stacked position when you're all the way up against the wall. So now he really doesn't have a choice but to get stacked because he has the wall there. Alright, so the next position we'll go to are kick-ups. So for kick-ups, again, athletes who have some experiences that have to be your most advanced athlete. If they're already good with kick-ups, just have them do a designated amount of kick-ups up to the wall. Your beginner athletes will start with mats on the ground, and we're going to have them start with their hands on the ground as well. A great progression for your beginner athletes is to actually have them do a curl up first, which is just there. Just so they get good experience with touching up to the wall. The next thing they can do is use that one leg coming up to the wall bent, and then do a straight leg up. Probably not as slow and controlled as that. And then once they feel comfortable, they can regress all the way up. There we go. Okay, so from here, we have a couple different ways we can go. The very first option is to just have them do TikToks, but you start very slowly. So with your TikToks, you're going to have them basically start by just moving the shoulder and shifting weight from side to side. So hands are barely coming up, but he's learning how to shift his weight. Then he's going to go to full TikToks. And once you have full TikToks, you can go to the side walks just so they get some experience with that. And now the next progression I have them go to from there is learning how to just kiss up to the wall very, very lightly and then come off and be able to hold themselves without using the wall as much as they possibly can. So he's going to pull his feet off the wall. Good. And he can always tap up again if he needs to hold himself up. That leads us into doing some walks just a couple of feet away from the wall. So generally we can start them at a distance where they can take maybe 2 steps. You might want to start on the taller part. Where they can do about 2 steps. And then just let them continue to progress away. So further and further away from the wall. All right, so one thing we want is to make sure that we don't have any athletes sitting around. So when you do your progressions, start at the bottom always, because there are always foundational movements that you even want your most advanced athlete to get, and continue to progress up from there. As each athlete reaches the end of their progression, give them something to practice there. So with what we just practiced, if they can only do kick-ups, have them do so many kick-ups and then try to progress to doing a 10-second hold, or progress again to 15-second hold this week, but don't have them go past that. And then let the next athlete continue to progress up to the TikToks and to the walks, and that way both are doing something and no one's just standing around.
Amen, brother.